Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review. And yes, it's finally here, Berserker issue 12. And my goodness, I must admit this ending was, I wouldn't say the strongest ending in regards to a Matt Kent plus Keanu Reeves story. But I think for what it was, it did actually try to offer a lot more in the story, to which there might be maybe another series coming. So it leaves the end quite open. So, jumping in the first things first, does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Not really a lot, but overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10, as I actually do like how they have set the cover up. So now it's time to move into the internal arts, which we'll get to have a look inside with the story, as well as what's happening with the story and characters, and how that art came out. So as the story begins, we get a bit of warfare happening between some of the characters. We end up catching with Unute, Caldwell, Dovetail, and of course Diana. As the story advances, we see some of the destruction and devastation that takes place, and we slowly approach the middle of the story as Unute also encounters some other people who are after him. As we advance a little bit further, we find out Unute is now having kids with his now wife. As the story continues, there's a bit of fighting that happens, and the children, of course, encounter their own old man's enemy, and slowly drawing towards the end, it looks like Unute might end up getting his final death in this particular story. Well, meant to believe. We get to see a little bit more as time goes by, and the place where Unute was buried, he resurrects from the grave again. But as we can see here, there's a slight change in difference. So it sort of indicates that maybe he could be searching for the twins that him and his other half gave birth to. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story, to which I will be raising the references, or not raising the references, but addressing any comic references, time references, location references, and cast mentioned in the story. So first things first, seeing that this had 12 issues, did we have any references to any of the previous issues? No, we didn't. Next is the area of time, to which time really, again, wasn't addressed. It really could have helped in the story, especially in regards to sort of like later on in the story. The last two couple of things are location, to which we learned that things took place in Syracuse and in Virginia. We also ended up going to the location of Tuscany, and in also the area of the Southwest. So it seems to indicate that a lot of this might actually be taking place in the US. The cast of characters, as we already know, Keanu Reeves' character is known as Unute. We also had Caldwell, who is basically one of the villains in this particular story. We also had Diana. We did not get the name of the twins, though. That is one thing. And Dovetail. For the overall story rating, I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.